Gabe Jenkins back with you, coming to you from the RLC, part of the College and Career Accelerator, CCA, accelerating your future. I hope you're having a great day. I have had several students ask me, Mr. Jenkins, is there anything that's like the polar array in AutoCAD? Because they're trying to make something that is a repeating element that goes around a center point. And you can do that absolutely in SolidWorks. You can do it at the sketch level, just like you did in AutoCAD. So if you wanted the same thing to be, say, think about maybe like cogs on a gear, those little teeth that go around. Like you might just want to make one tooth and have it replicate all the way around that center point of the circle. You can do the same thing in SolidWorks, either with a two-dimensional sketch, or you can do it with a three-dimensional feature, right? So what I'm going to show you really quickly is how to use this thing called the circular pattern. You see linear pattern right here. If you click the drop down, it's going to be circular pattern. We're going to show you how to do that. First, so what I'm trying to create here is something that looks kind of like a crown, right? So I got my little circle that's going to make up the crown. I've already extruded it, so it's a three-dimensional shape. I got this little cutout part here that I've made a second sketch, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. So I'm going to do an extruded cut. I'm going to find the part that I want to do. I'm going to do that part and that part right there. Those are the parts I want to cut out, and so I've cut them out here. Now, just like we did in the revolve cut, well, I'll take a step back. In a two-dimensional polar array in AutoCAD, we had to select the elements that we wanted to replicate around the center point of the circle, and we had to tell it where the center point that we wanted to rotate it around was, center point of the circle. Very similarly, in a three-dimensional environment instead of in a two-dimensional environment, you need to specify the elements specify the features that you want to replicate around a center. But instead of just selecting a center point, you have to have a center axis. You have to have a center line that's going to be the point at which this thing rotates around. And it can be an extruded feature. It can be a cut feature. It can be either one of them is fine, right? So I want this shape here, this little cutout shape, to go around the outside here, and which means that I need to define where the center axis of this circle is. So I'm here in features, and just like we did on a reference geometry thing, I'm going to go here into reference, and I'm going to make my own axis, and it's going to ask me, what do I want to do? I'm going to select two planes, and I want it to be this one and that one. That yellow axis that just showed up right there, that's going to be the axis that I want my cutout feature to rotate around. So now I got my axis. I got my cutout feature, which is the cut extrude. And so I'm going to do cut extrude. I'm going to say not a linear pattern. I'm going to do a circular pattern. I'm going to say, what is my axis up here in the top? I'm going to click on my axis that I just made. I can play around with how they're spaced out, or do I want it to go 100% around the circle, like 360 degrees, or do I want it to be just like halfway around? So say I just said this was 180. I just wanted it to go around half the shape. That would be weird, but that might fit your needs for some particular assignment. Here I say, how many do I want? Do I want 6? Do I want 4? How many do I want? I'm gonna stick with 12 because I think it looks kind of the best. And here, if it didn't already have it in here, features and faces, this is the thing that I want to replicate, to make a pattern of that thing that goes around the circle. You can play around some of these other things. It's really good to always have either full preview or partial preview on here, because that's going to let you see, like, is this looking like what you want it to look like, or is there something you need to adjust? But this looks like basically what I want it to look like, and so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. It cuts out that same feature 12 times, evenly spaced around my central axis. Hide my central axis, and now I got my shape. And that's it. So circular pattern, you're going to find it underneath linear pattern. Make sure that you have defined not only the part that you want to replicate, whether it's a extruded feature or a cut feature, and you have defined where the axis is that you want it to rotate around. Once you got those things, it's really fun. Start playing around with it. See if you can make something cool. All right, everybody. Have a great day.